Hi guys, it's Jen the Coloring Cat Mom here. Today we're going to do something a bit different. I really have never done one of these before, so I'm going to try it out, see how it goes, and let's just try something new in general. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing my very first color and chat video for you guys. I did not start fresh because I wanted to make sure I protected the integrity of the copyright of this page. And this page is from Alexandra Franzese's book, Valentine Mandalas. The older version, not her newer one. She redid all her mandala books, so they model like one of her newer versions. And I haven't gotten any of the remakes yet, so I'm still coloring a lot of the older versions. But eventually I will start getting the remakes, and the one videos that I have shot flip throughs of, you can do comparisons on to see how different they are. So let's go ahead and discuss what I've done so far on the page. Basically, first off, I'm going to start with, normally I do not color gel pen and marker at the same time. I normally don't, because smearing. Smearing is a really bad problem. You can do it accidentally because the ink doesn't dry very fast, and it's hard to clean up, hard to hide. But I did find something that does help with that. And I'm sure you're wondering what this is. This is something I bought in a 4-pack at the dollar store. They're for Easter eggs or Easter hunting or whatever the case may be. But I found it holds some art supplies very well, and it's cute. So, I mean, heck, 4 for $1.25, you can't beat that. Budget coloring supplies. I'll do another video on that at a later date. So basically these guys, and I'll tell you what they are. These two cap erasers are made by Pentel. They're high polymer erasers, meaning they're not made by rubber. They're not rubber erasers. They're not your normal cap erasers. They will and can erase ink and soft pastel, and I will show you how they erase the soft pastel in another video when I am using that medium. Right now I'm not doing that. So, but you can see right here I slightly smeared the pink ink in some spots, but it's not that bad. I was able to use a combination of this eraser and this one. This is a Statler Mars plastic, and it does a really good job. So, like, that's why you can only see it faintly here and faintly here where I smeared the ink. But like I said, that's kind of why I don't use them at the same time. I usually do my marker parts first, then do the gel pen. And I usually always try to work my way inside out, because that also helps with the smearing. So my suggestion to you guys is do the gel pen last, even if you're working with soft pastel, because you can't cover over soft pastel once you color it with a gel pen. There is a piece that I've done recently that I will show you in the video what I mean when I show you about the soft pastel and erasers and coverage and stuff like that. I'll explain it in another video, but it just doesn't work. And some of you that have used it probably will sit there and be like, yeah, it won't work. So if you get a chance, try them. I'll put links in the description of the video for the products. And also, I have a third option that I just ran across. My fiance bought me a 3-pack of these guys. They're made by Statler as well. They're plastic eraser pens. Basically, it's kind of like the same thing as this guy, But this one's more made of PVC vinyl than plastic. So, but he works great too. Like, you know, same difference. But again, depending on the paper you have, you also have to mind the pressure you're putting on the page, because I learned the hard way several times now about being heavy-handed with the eraser and how it ruins the texture of the paper, which ruins the whole vibe of your art. So yeah, that's not something you want to do either. So basically I broke my own cardinal rule with this page, and you can see there's, you know, some marks to go for it. So let that be a visual lesson learned. And also be careful with the alcohol so-called blender marker. Yes, they can remove pigment, but if you don't have a good control over it, it will bleach your paper. Henceforth will bleach out your marker when you color over it. And I know you probably can see it like in here and a tiny bit in here. So again, oh, and in here as well. So like I said, you know, you can use them, but just know that if you go a little too crazy by accident, like my trimmers, sometimes it's just better to leave it alone and try to cover over it than it is to try to correct it, is just basically my advice. So that's kind of how I've done the center, and basically I did it in a combination of a few different supplies. The leaves were done with Shuttle Art Skinny Marker, shade 43. The inside of the flower here, the pink petals here, was done with Shuttle Art, my bad, throwing markers now, Shuttle Art Marker, shade 9. And then the outside of this flower was done with Shuttle Art Marker. Let me turn it around. Shuttle Art Marker, shade 8. So, that's basically how I did the flower. And then the inside of it was done with a Sharpie Ultra Fine permanent marker, the like palest yellow shade that is available. I do not know the shades by names by heart, and eventually I will get there, but it'll happen for me. And then the center I used Shuttle Art glitter gel pens. I have both the 320 set and the 120 glitter set. So it could came from either one, basically. Some of them are in both sets. Some of them are only exclusive to one or the other. And same with that yellow here is also from the Shuttle Art. I believe it was either this one or this one that I used. But still Shuttle Art glitter gel pens. And the hearts were done also in the Shuttle Art glitter gel pen, and it was this one in particular. So that's what I've done so far, and I also took the liberty of going over the gel pen areas that I've already done twice. So they're basically done, and the center's pretty much done. We can move on to the outer parts now. So now here's my choice. I could either do underneath here, this part, or we can start with the birds. So let's, I hate decisions, so it's kind of like sometimes if I can't decide, I end up flipping a coin. So we're not going to go that route today, because I'm not going to, you know, be that neurotic, hopefully. So let's just go with the birds, because I've kind of been itching to color them birds lately. So let's begin with those birds. So basically I have already pre-selected the colors for the birds that I'm going to be using, which are going to be Shuttle Art Marker DCG 0.5. And it looks like this. Here, I'm going to set it down. Pick it back up so you can see. It's basically the lightest cool gray in that set. And then we're also going to employ Shuttle Art marker, warm gray 0.5, but unfortunately due to the age of my marker, because I've had it a while, the WG, the code has kind of wore off on one end. So we're going to be using these two on the birds. And then the envelopes, we are going to be using a pink color with a glitter gel pen coloring the hearts. So that's kind of how I plan to do the birds. So let's do the birds now. So basically, how I have it in my mind, well, my mind's eye, is that the DCG 0.5 is going to go on the main part of the birds. So let's start here. We're going to color him, start here. And we're going to do the main part of him with this color. Because as you can see, he has like little parts, the tips of his, his tail feathers and his wings can go and be a different contrasting color. So that's why we're going to employ the darker color for the wings, because, I think it would look cute that way. And then once everything dries, we can come back with a black gel pen and a white gel pen and do the eyes of the birds. So, but, we can do that at the end. No rush. And I know it looks dark right now, but I can promise you it will dry just a tad lighter. It's not gonna, I know it looks kind of bad right now because it's still kind of wet, but it will contrast nicely, I believe. Okay. So, basically, that's the first bird, how he's going to look. And like I said, once we get them all done, we'll come back around and do the eyeballs. So, here's going to be, start on the envelope while he's drying, because it could take a good minute to dry. And I apologize for my arm being on the table. It's just a bit helpful for me to be able to reach and color without blocking the page. And also, if you hear any background noise from like outside, it's feeding time for our ferals, so that's what's going on. They're being called to dinner. I know their feeding call, so, and knowing them, they're probably shacked up in their beds, so, because we have heated beds for all three of them, and they get along very well. Like, they're a little family. They're like the Three Musketeers. It's really cute. I'll have to get a video of them one day and show you guys. And it looks like my marker might be trying to say I'm on my way out, because I just saw it was coloring just a little rough just a second ago. I think it might be okay, but, this is kind of like one of those things that happens sometimes with colorists. They start out with one color and they're like, gee, I think I have enough of this color to, do what I planned on, and then you end up like, sorry, like, see, like I said, it's starting to color rough, so we may have an issue. But it's okay, because if it ends up being an issue, we can always choose a darker color and go over it. And it will be fine. Okay, all right. So now I'm probably going to have to use the broad tip of my marker because it still has ink in it. So let's hope we can get all of these envelopes colored the desired color I picked before the ink runs out. So let's hope we can get this done. And like I said, if we go into the heart on the envelope, it's fine, because I have a plan to use a darker color, a glitter gel pen, to kind of fix it up a bit. So it shouldn't be a problem. Now, if I chose a lighter color, then it wouldn't be the same. The problem would be like you couldn't do it because it would be able to be seen through it. Because believe it or not, gel pen ink is kind of sheer. In a lot of like companies that I've, used gel pens from. I just bought a set not a while ago from Five Below, and I've never used it. So I'm eventually going to do a product video for you guys to review them and see how they color for like a budget set of 60 for $5. Because Walmart, you can go to Walmart and you can't even get that many for, $5. So let's see, because I know the best budget gel pens that I can honestly tell you is from Dollar Tree. And I know you don't think a lot of times dollar store having quality things, and I hate to tell you, I'm like, a lot of my friends know me as like the dollar store like queen. Like, I get a lot of things from the dollar store and get a lot of good deals on stuff too. So just don't ever count Dollar Tree and Five Below and the cheaper stores out, because you might be surprised what you can find. Alright, so we gave it a few minutes. We let this guy dry, and as you can see, it contrasts nicely, like I said. It's not too dark, not too loud. They don't clash, so it's a pretty good color for the birds. So let's continue and finish coloring these birds. I apologize, I have a bit of a sniffly issue going on. I believe it's like the change in weather. Like one day it was much warmer and now it's cooler again. It's like, okay, can you decide winter or spring? Because I'd like to know. Because cold one day, hot the next, or warm the next is just, that's how people get colds, The change in the weather is terrible. And some people, that have, the dysautonomia, they also find that the change in weather is more of an issue with their dysautonomia and plays on their autonomic systems and causes screwy things to happen, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. So it's like we have to plan ahead for these things if we know they're going to happen, and always be prepared. It's another thing. So, but it's fine. I get along just fine, and I'm excited about a lot of things I want to start bringing to you guys and everything. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great 2025 if you stick with me. A lot of things are happening. A lot of exciting things are happening. So I'm just really hopeful that things continue on the track that they do, because I know the world right now is kind of a scary place for some of us, and I just want to let y'all know that I hear you, I see you, I love you, and I'm praying for you. Because not all of us have the luxury of, you know, having somebody to have our backs. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky to have the support that I do, but not everybody does, and it's sad. And I just wish this world was kinder and we practiced more kindness to others. So hopefully maybe one day that's what will happen. But for now, those of you who are good and kind and do kind things, keep it up, because you will be rewarded. And those of you who may not be the nicest to those, I'm not going to scold you. I'm not going to reprimand you. I'm just going to say this. I see you, and I love you as a person, because everybody deserves kindness and everybody deserves love and empathy. And even if you're not in a place to give it or show it, you know, try not to tear somebody else down that otherwise would probably lift you up. So it's kind of what my grandpa taught me. He's like, I know that people can be rude and mean and thankless of your efforts for them or towards them, and it's not something you should take personally to yourself, and stop being a good person because of. You have to keep on being a good person in despite of, because that's what the world needs. More love, more acceptance, more kindness, more tolerance. But like I said, I don't force any ideals upon anybody, and I will be uploading a video later tonight that will serve as my comeback video and announcement video. And with that video, y'all will understand more of my intentions and what I plan on doing now that I'm back to my channel and doing things like I had done prior to my illness. So I'm very happy to be back doing what I love. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, these videos are not to serve as influencing videos. This is just my platform, and I decide to talk and color and chat with you guys and share my thoughts, you know. No militants, no you have to think like me or we can't be friends. I am one of those that will agree to disagree with you and not push my point of view on you. But it's important, I feel though it is important though that people know how I lean and how I believe and what I think and how I feel about certain things, because it's just important, because I don't want no one to feel like I deceive them in any way. And right now, I apologize for blocking like half the page. Normally, I would have turned the clipboard, but that probably would have drove a lot of you crazy with me constantly spinning the clipboard, because I am a clipboard spinner. I don't leave it in one fixed place. So it's just like a learning experience for me, how to like leave the daggum thing in one place in color. So, apologies. I do have an easel, but it's just, I have to figure out how to use the easel with my camera, and Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's mostly right now only good for like photography. So, but I will be trying to figure it out, and hopefully the views and everything will get better as I learn more about what works and what doesn't. So, and yes, I know I went out of the lines a bit. It is a bit hard when your hand is when it kind of shakes all the time. It's hard to control sometimes, but you know what? I still enjoy my hobbies no matter what. And I'm working on the whole OCD of like, oh, you've got to be perfect all the time or your art ain't worth a damn. Nah. In the words of the famous Bob Ross, you don't make mistakes. They're happy accidents. So, I'm going to embrace my happy accidents. And I encourage you guys to do that as well. Okay, so now the birds are done. So I'm probably not going to shoot the whole video coloring the whole page. I'll probably do like one, you know, show you what I'm going to do with the birds, and then maybe like a section of the background, and then I'll probably call it, you know, a day with you guys, because I don't want to bore you guys with like coloring the whole thing, because it might take forever for me. So I'm just trying to like test the waters with this whole coloring, you know, chat thing, that format we're doing now. Let's see. Okay, we're done with the grays. Drop my clicker. Okay, we're going to be using a dark color on this. So I'm trying to decide, basically, yeah, I'm not going to use this color because this color looks really similar to that one. So we don't want to use one that's identical to this, what we already did. So here's where my handy dandy swatch book comes in handy. Basically, I use it just to scribble in, because I don't have swatch charts made yet. And yes, I know they would have made my life easier, but when I first started coloring, I swore I wouldn't go down that rabbit hole. So, oh dear. Well, I mean, it looks like it is going to be the same no matter what if we go with that color. So, and this sometimes happens when coloring, so you kind of have to like change your plan on the fly, which is fine. I have a few choices over here that I can go with that will work just as fine with it. Let's see, we have like this pink we can use. Let's see, there's an even lighter pink that I found. I'd rather not go with like a dark pink now that I think of it. I should have thought of this earlier. I mean, we can even go neon if we wanted to. So that's a thought as well. But I think neon would look really, really not so pretty. So, let's see. What can we do? Ooh, I know. Let's do like a blue. That would be pretty. So I have like 3 choices right here. Just in case I decided to go that route. Because, like I say, I may plan things, but then I might change it on the fly. So, and this is one of those situations of where I'm changing it on the fly. So, we got that shade. And then this one. And then that one. And then finally, this one. So, let's see what we got. My thoughts are probably one of the bottom 2 would pop very nicely. And I'm thinking probably number 4. So that's probably what I'm going to go with, is probably number 4, which is this guy, who is also Shuttle art. So let's go ahead and just, I normally don't like doing this, but since I'm anxious to see how this turns out, so yeah, I let my excitement get the better of me sometimes, so now I have to be very cautious and not smear this ink. But as you can see, since I picked like a dark enough shade, it covered over the pink that ran into the heart. Like, that's kind of what I meant by, like, if the shade and pigment is dark enough, it can cover over. So, but it doesn't always happen, especially if you have a dark shade under and then use a light one. Forget it. It's not going to cover it. And in another video, I will cover that. What I mean by that. So expect a lot of content coming up, because it's happening. And also, due to the age of my gel pens, because they're like 3, almost 4 years old. Yes, I know. That's how, I keep my, I don't use through. I even have the original refills for them. So it's like, why I'm still using like all the original inks. Like, I apologize how I have my hand, because I'm trying not to lay my wrist or my hand in the already colored. See, this is exactly why, case in point, you're seeing it. Why you don't use gel pen intermittently through the page, because then you risk, something like this happening. Like, I'm going to be like super careful coloring this heart that I'm coloring, because I'm laying my hand very precariously between. And thank goodness I didn't smear or transfer ink. So I accomplished my goal, except for, I see where I missed a little bit, so I'll just dab it in there. So basically the envelopes are done, and if I wanted to, I could go back in the end and take like a silver or a dark gray and like, do the lines on the bird to make him kind of like have an effect. Oh my goodness. That's my cat. He's deciding he wants to crash our recording session. So let's go let him in. And I'm sure he's going to come and jump up and say hi to you guys. So just be ready for that. Come on. Come say hi to the YouTube universe. Come on. You want to say hi? You gonna come say hi, big guy? Just be careful. Yep. Hi. This is Beans. This is another hazard of being a coloring cat mom. You got to deal with things like this happening. Yes. They love you. Okay, yes. They love you too, bud. All right, come on. Let's get down for a second. Or at least get in Mommy's lap. There you go. All right. So now the envelopes, and like I said, you can go back and do the eyes and the eyes on the birds and the lines if you wish. Before completion, because like I said, this is kind of not what you want to do, because now you have to worry about smearing ink. So I could either wait till the ink dries. Careful, bud. I can wait till the ink dries, or I can move on to the other parts. So, oh my goodness. Okay, hang on. Let me put my pen back. He is like not accepting the fact that he can't be up here. So I apologize. My cat is now part of the video. Yeah. Thank you. Aw. Okay, but I don't think the followers want to see your butt, okay? Yeah. Keep it classy, bud. Yeah. Aw. Yeah, see, he's like, he loves to be around me when I color. Yes, you do. You crashed my video. Yeah. I hear you purring. You're happy. You're a happy boy. All right. You're going to have to find a spot and go sit down, though, bud. Yeah. You're going to have to. Oh, my gosh, guys. I may have to end this coloring chat right now because I think Beansy Boo is demanding Meow Me's undivided attention. So, we'll have to pick this up again another night, another time, when Beans is not requesting Meow Me's attention so fierce. But if you liked, the video, give it a like. If you're curious about something I did or was explaining, drop a comment and I'll be sure to, further explain it. And I will also link the products that I used in the video, so that way, yes, I know, I have to do that as well. Yes, that's very important. You got to link the products, exactly, so people know what you used. And also, if you want to see more of this cuteness, and I'm talking about the cat, feel free to follow me on social media. On Facebook, I am Jennifer, the Coloring Cat Mom. Bolton, the Coloring Cat Mom, is all one word. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Insta handle is the Coloring Cat Mom. And if you already are a viewer or subscriber of my YouTube, it is the Coloring Cat Mom. So I would be appreciative for any follow, like, interaction y'all want to do. No pressure. I like talking to people and I like making new friends. So let's try and be friends and make new ones, along the way. So until next time, from me and Beans, good night, be safe, take care, and always stay colorful. Bye now.